You free away these bits of earthbound fray, flowing over my sands, rending me through the rolling, crashing waters, where we meet endlessly.
But art, we need to create some common sense, Whatever goes on, however you go into this world about, that's what's missing. I mean, it's serious, as human beings, we're all familiar with it. We have 5 senses or whatever, but that 6th sense is really a common sense, and it's something we all carry. And there's not a whole lot of it being projected out into reality anymore. There's just all these distorted emotional fears and reactionary things that aren't really well thought out. And the power of our intelligence. It's how to show respect to the Creator and the sacred. We must show respect to our intelligence, because the strength of the respect we can show to the Creator and the sacred can only be reflected by the strength that we show to our own intelligence. This is to me about respecting the Creator and about respecting the sacred. Respect our intelligence. It is our medicine, it's our protection, our self-defense. It's the only medicine and protection and self-defense we have, really. I mean, that's just reality, and it's how clearly we use our intelligence to think. The energy and power of our intelligence, this is how much power we have individually. Have you ever had a situation where you felt powerless? And then while you're feeling powerless, how bad can you make yourself feel with your fears, doubts, and insecurity? And how does that affect the people around you that you interact with? That's power. And so we all got power, so whatever's going on, right, we have power. It's just an example of power used incoherently. It's an example of power used chaotically. It's not an example of power used clearly and coherently. And you're entering into a dimensional reality that's a future that's looming ahead of us. That's going to be in many ways a repetition of the past. It's hard, reality is closing in, and you all have to you're entering into it from a whole different level than me. I'm leaving it. I'm at that age, I'll be gone in some period of time. But you're entering into something that we tried to fix, but we couldn't quite pull it off, because in my opinion, we emotionally reacted to things more than we really clearly and coherently thought our behaviors and our paths out. And for us, to respect our intelligence, I emphasize that, to think, to understand there's a difference between thinking and believing. To me, to think, everything's about energy, everything is about energy. We are human beings. The being part is our spirit, but in a technological perceptual reality, that spirit, that being part is defined and looked at as energy. Everything is about energy. Everything has energy. Everything has energy, because our DNA, our bone, flesh, and blood, we're made up of the metals, minerals, and liquids of the earth, and we have being. Being comes from our relationships to the sun, sky, universe. All things in the earth are made up of the same DNA, same metals, minerals, and liquids. All things in the earth have the same relationship to the universe. All things have being. We're in a technological perceptual reality where being is defined as energy, and energy is to be consumed. This is the reality that we're in. And our energy, our spirit, is being consumed by distortions and chaos that we don't truly understand. And people go around feeling like something's missing from their life, and that's what's missing, is this recognition of who we are, this recognition of our relationship, our true relationship to the sacred and the power of being a human being. Our power comes from how we perceive reality. Our being, protect the being, keep the being alive. I hear too many times, well, we're only human. No, we're not. We're human being. We're human being, visible, and invisible, visible. We're human being, and when we believe in the patterns of I'm only human, see, we're missing it. We're missing the most important part of ourselves, the being part, because the being continues. We're temporarily human, but the being, and whatever's going on in this dimensional reality that we're in, it's about an evolution of being. It's not really about an evolution of human, it's an evolution of being. How we get through this dimensional experience that we have as beings. We come from being, we take human form, and we're back to being. how we experience this journey that we go through, and this physical experience has got to do with the strengthening and evolution of being, which is, because we're in a, you know, it's a spiritual reality. It's not a material reality, it's a spiritual reality. Anyway, back to now the power of intelligence. To believe. See, it's a very, we need to be very careful with some of the terminology, because to me it's like a minor language, but we need to be careful with some of the terminology, because to believe, I mean, in actuality means I don't know. You know, I mean, in reality, when I say I believe, I'm saying I don't know. You know, in reality. And I think that this really needs to be thought about, because everything's about energy, and when we think, we project electromagnetic thought. Energy is meant and intended to flow. So when we think, we're projecting electromagnetic thought. When we think clearly and coherently, we will attract clarity and coherency. But if we just settle for the laziness of believing, I believe, that means then we're shutting off the thinking. We're not thinking anymore.